Come on with it.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's up, Todd?
All right.
How's it going?
Yeah. Good. Good.
Good?
Yeah. Today I spent some time on the motor, trying to find a loose gremlin in it. So our last video, we got a comment from Sherry wanting to find out about, wanted to learn about knots and leaders and catching more fish. So I thought today what we might do is, we got a little setup here, but we'll go over tying some knots and some leaders. But let's, one of the things with our how-to videos, I always wanted us to always give the whys. Like why do we need a leader?
You got to remember that in saltwater, you got a lot of toothy critters. So it's always important to have a leader. You know, it depends depending on what kind of fishing you're doing. You know, if you're king fishing, you're snapper fishing, you're throwing up, you might run into a school of skipjacks. They love shaping up those lines, you know, and if you got a little expensive lure, well, it's gonna shape it down. But it don't matter. Sometimes then you catch a fish, it'll cut you right off. But I like to have a leader. I always love having leaders because that's just the way to do it. That's the right way to do it.
I believe also it helps out with the impact of the fish when it hits, I would say, and it also stretches. And having a swivel and a leader, because when I used to start fishing, I would just, I still do, my always gets after me about setting up the hood like crazy when it's just a little tap, especially if you have,
this guy does a field dance.
Especially if you have braid and leader, you know. Personally, I like putting leader. There's different kind of pounds, but it is very important if you're actually fishing, and it actually helps you pretty much on the technique. And
I like
first of
braid.
all, welcome to Todd's Taco Box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel. Drop your comment. It's good to be here, and I'll pass it back to you.
You use braid?
I do, yeah. I usually like keep it in between 8 or 10, 15 pounds. Yeah, because I like to catch. We usually fish for lures all the time, unless we're going for mangrove. But I do like red or trout or pretty much mangrove. But when I go fishing for big mangroves and I want to like secure my fishing, like Jeremiah says, if you have a real good lure or top water or anything, they're pretty expensive and you don't want to lose them. And then also like he said, there's fish out there that have like very sharp teeth and they will just shake their head and then you lose your gear, your fish, and pretty much.
See, braids new to me. Growing up on the lake, I'm older than both of you guys, but growing up on the lake, we didn't have braid that we used. So it was always mono back then. So for me, I've just recently started using braid because from what I understand is the technology with braid, it gives you a much more sensitive feel with the end of what you got tied on or what the fish might do.
It doesn't stretch as much.
And it doesn't stretch, right? So it's like a guitar string. You can really feel that tension. So the necessary thing to add to that, so you don't just rip it out of the fish's mouth
like
too fast, you got to have that slack, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what the leader does. Is it gives you that stretch, but also, I guess we can get into it later, the differences in the different kinds of leaders. But the main thing is the monofilament, tying that onto your braided line. What knots do you find yourself using for putting your braid to your leader?
Well, a lot of people like to go the easy way, just going with a swivel from your braid to a swivel and then the swivel to the leader. I like to tie a uni. You need a uni.
Right, that's what I use.
Or some people like to do what it's called an Albright, It's a little bit more cool looking, but I really like uni to uni.
Yeah.
But it all depends, it's just, quickness.
What do you use? Braid to leader.
Yeah, I use a swivel. I found out to actually really hard for me to do it because I don't practice it much, but I like swivel. Although I have lost fish because of the swivel, sometimes, I keep it in the rod. I don't clean my rods properly, and then, you go out there, you get excited, you cast out, and you lose the
As
fish.
long as you keep
because
saying
of the swivel.
like, subscribe, and
Yeah,
comment.
and don't forget to like, subscribe.
saying that,
I mean, there's sometimes people just go through it and then you don't hit the little like button. But yeah.
See, my dad says that that the swivels and the clips and all that extra stuff is jewelry. And if you learn to tie the right knot, then the less jewelry you've got in the water. And these fish, these hyper shallow water fish are so spooky because they're so used to the predators, that shallow water. If you'll watch when a shadow goes over a shallow part of the water, how the fish spook. So these guys are so spooky just from the shadows of birds, from other predators in the water. And so, like my dad says, the less jewelry that you're using for them to see and get spooked by something different in the water,
anything shiny pretty much also could affect the fish or anything pretty much.
The right knot eliminates the need for a swivel or the need for a clip or the need for all that extra stuff. So what knot do you like to use to tie to your lure then? So we agree the uni knot is the best to use for line to line.
I like to use a uni, but like if I'm fishing for mangroves and I got a little Carolina rig and I'm fishing structure, and I want speed, like boom, the fish are biting, I like to put a swivel, so I like a uni. I like a uni. You need a uni.
You need a
Sorry
uni.
to interrupt. You see me working hard. This is your Maya's face all full of grease and stuff.
Well, we've been working all day, so we
Yeah.
never have a
We're
day
hard
off.
work here.
Do you know what a day off is?
I ain't apologize.
I've been out for
What
the
you
past
see
5
is what
months,
you
so
get.
That's right. So, we like to eat some
I shouldn't be
tortillas.
talking. I've been out for the past 6 months. So.
This ain't therapy. We're showing them how to tie a
Sorry.
knot.
So we're gonna tie a knot. What do you think?
Yeah, so let's start with, let's move the camera and we'll focus it down to the table and let's show a uni knot. And then what I like to tie to my lure, once I've got my uni knot and I got my leader, to my lure, I like to tie a loop knot.
Well, there's different names to it. You can do a loop knot or a Rapala knot.
Now,
There's so many
the
knots.
Rapala knot that I use a Rapala knot if I'm going to tie to something solid.
Right.
So like, the popping corks that have the little, the tie-on piece on the top, because I don't
Right.
like the ones you do the twist. So
I don't like the twist either, because it kinks your line. Hey, fish on! Fish on!
So, all right, well, let's move the camera. Let's show a loop knot. Let's show the Rapala knot, and let's show the uni to uni.
I think the Rapala knot and that knot, they're kind of pretty much the same, but I'll show you. Maybe
My Rapala snugs down,
Right.
but my loop knot keeps that
no,
loop
yeah,
to allow the movement.
exactly.
So the uni, the Rapala. Well, let's move the camera, and we'll start shooting the knots.
Okay.
Okay, we're live. We're recording.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you going to show us?
We're gonna tie uni to uni.
Uni to uni,
And
which
you
is
know-
going to be what? Your
We're gonna go from braid to mono.
braid to mono.
Yeah, and I mean you can use this uni to anything. Like say you're spooling a reel, and you're spooling up a reel, and you only got half a spool. You put 300 yards on a braid, and then you want to do a top shot. You can use this uni to
Which
uni.
side is my main line? So I got braid on my
Right.
okay, and now I'm going to tie to my
Right.
leader, and that's the okay.
So what you want to do is you want to kind of do these, what you call parallel. Is that what you call that?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you grab that and you do a half an eight. Just a half an eight. So you grab those two. You got your tag in here of your leader, and you got your tag in here of your main line. So you do a half an eight, and then you're gonna wrap 4 times over your leader into that loop. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can you go more, or
You can do
have to
more,
like
but
4?
4 is all you need.
Okay.
You kind of cinch it down a little bit. Then you're going to go to your...
Hey, wait, get back in the middle. There you go.
You're going to go back to your mono.
Watch out for that lure. You're going to hit again.
You're going to do a 1/2 8. And you're going to go over that main line. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to cinch that right there. Okay. Once you have those, you're going to cinch it down. Bam. See that?
Back it up a little. It's a little blurry.
Right there?
Yeah.
That's a uni to uni.
Okay, now what?
Okay, so we're going to cut those tag ends. Cut the tag ends. Some people like to leave a little piece there just in case, you know, you still got a little bit of cinchness to it. I like to go, I don't like a very long leader.
Down.
I don't like a very long leader.
Okay.
Say about 12 inches.
Okay.
What do you think?
A 1 foot leader?
Yeah. Or, you know, you can go a little bit more depending on what you like, your style. Okay? So you're going to do a...
Now what are you tying?
I don't know if you might think it's different, but we're going to look. Maybe this is, I think this is a Rapala knot.
So what are you tying? You're going to tie onto like a lure?
We're going to tie onto a top water.
Okay.
This is called a Super Spook. Great top water lures. Green and white, green and bone.
I got a buddy of mine who's a professional guide, and he has like 52 different super spooks, and only white.
Only white. I like white.
He only uses white.
Yep, I like white. So we're still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go backward.
So, Jimmy, reel up a little bit. A little bit more? Right there. So, what you want to do is you want to do a figure 8, half a figure, right? And you see that little loop. You got a little loop there. You're going to go right in through there. Okay? So you got that figure 8, and it's going to kind of come right by that eye. Okay? And then you're going to grab your tag in, and you're going to put it in that loop. Just like that. Just like that. See how it creates that little loop right in there?
And you're calling that a Rapala knot?
Or what do you call that?
A loop knot.
Okay, that's a loop knot.
Okay, keep going.
So you're gonna go.
It's good.
You're gonna go 1, 2 and a half, and back inside the hole. Then you're gonna cinch that down. I don't like my loops. I'm just doing this, but I don't like my loop too big. I like it just kind of right in there. And then just, you don't have to pull on it super darn tight. Then just pull your tag in out, and then you clip it.
Oh, that's good.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And that creates the lure to do this walking motion.
The walking dog.
Yeah. It's what you call walk the dog.
Walk the dog on the top water.
Yeah, on the top water. But a lot of people like to use lures, stuff like that. I like to use that loop on top waters.
Okay. What if you're tying on directly to a hook? Do you use that same knot?
No.
Here, let's get a big hook.
You got on pause?
No. Here, I got it. I mean, it's really big. But look here, check that out.
Okay.
Let's tie onto a hook. I got a big one so that you could really see.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I think they call this a polymer knot.
And that's when you tie onto something solid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always used that knot. I've used it for so long. Some people, I don't like that knot, but everybody's different.
Yeah. No,
You know-
I use a loop knot if I'm going to tie onto something that I need action for my lure.
Right.
Like a, even like a
Right.
jig or a top water,
Right.
anything that I want movement out of.
Right.
Right. Or that I'm trying to have action to it.
Right.
But if I'm tying to like a bottom rig setup
Yeah.
or, right. So let's see that.
So what I'll do is I'll go
Your left hand's in the shadow.
oh,
There you go.
right there.
Yeah.
So I'll go through the eye and I'll do a half a figure 8, half a figure, and I go 1, hold on, let me get some more slack, half a figure, and I go 1, 2, 2, and I pop those out. I pop those 2 loops out, and I bring that tag in over those loops into the hole. Right there. See, because you can do that,
And then what? Does it cinch down
and it
on the?
cinches down.
I see.
You see that? And look,
Yeah.
you don't have those curls. You know, presentation is everything, for me at least. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that curl. Now, if you do this,
Hey, I'm gonna watch this video again, and I'm gonna click the like button.
if you do this, and you go
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Man,
4,
that's what I was about to
5,
do.
6, and you go back in the loop,
Right?
and then you go back
Back
in,
to yeah.
and then you go like that. That curls. See how it starts curling?
Okay.
See, and if see that curl?
I dig it.
Look at that.
I dig it. Okay, do the first one again.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the first one.
Man, I'm gonna like and subscribe to this video.
I've never liked that. And then the more
No, but
heavier,
it makes sense.
the more heavier line you got, the more heavier line you get more of a curl. So it's a polymer knot, if I'm not mistaken. So it goes in. So we're already here. So you do the half an eight, and it
I
goes
think okay. I think there's a half hitch, but anyway,
Yeah.
half an 8.
half an 8 or a half hitch.
Show me what a half 8 is.
A half an 8 is this. That's a half an 8. So you go half an 8. And if you went like this, it'd be a figure 8. See that?
I see.
So you do a half an 8, half an 8. It goes around your finger twice.
What goes around my finger twice?
The line,
The line.
you're
After-
tagging.
After my half
Yeah.
hitch, half 8.
After you do your half 8, it's so hard to see, I know, but you do your half an 8, you pinch here, and then your tag in goes around your finger twice. 1,
Okay.
2.
Okay.
So then you pull that out, you pull the 2 loops,
Gotcha.
and then your tag in, I'm sorry I don't have enough tag in, but then you get your tag in and that goes in the loop, inside.
Yeah.
And then you cinch down, and then it goes down. Look at that. If I get slack, look at that. There's no memory to the line, because you know mono
Look at the
can.
difference.
Yeah, because mono can hold memory.
Right?
So I've always liked that knot. Some people don't like it,
No, that makes a lot
but
of sense. 'Cause
for
see,
me, I've caught a lot of fish on it.
Well, if you go real light, right, like an 1/8 or 16th ounce, and then you got like just a little split shot, and you're just trying to. That makes a lot of sense though.
Right.
That it's not all kinked and curled
Yeah.
right there in the front. All those little things.
It's presentation.